So what are we going to do today?
It's the Cool Bible Guy!
What's up, guys? It's Steve, the Cool Bible Guy. Today we're going from the second letter of Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 6, Paul's second letter to the people of Corinth in Greece. But before we discuss the verse of the day, let's set our intentions for this Bible hangout in the comments below, because a person who aims at nothing hits it with amazing accuracy. So let's be on purpose and intentional today. Let's get into the verse. Remember this: whoever sows sparingly will reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. This is one of my favorite Bible verses. Basically, the verse is often interpreted in the context of generosity and giving. It suggests that the level of generosity one exhibits in their actions, particularly in giving or helping others. If someone is generous in their deeds, they can expect to receive generosity in return, and vice versa. It emphasizes the idea of reaping when you sow and encourages a spirit of generosity and kindness. All of this makes a ton of sense. If you're good to people, they'll be good back, and vice versa. If you're a jerk and then expect to be treated like dirt in return.
No, yuck.
Let's think about whatever you do in the world. You're sowing seeds. So think about this: if you don't sow seeds in the spring, how can you go out to the field and look for a harvest in the fall? October comes around, you go out there and you say, all right, where's my crop?
Where's my wife?
Anyone who finds out you did that, make a petition to put you in an insane asylum. They're gonna say, you're a crazy person. What the hell are you doing out here? You didn't sow any seeds. What makes you think you're getting a harvest this time? I think the best quote is actually from Jim Rohn. He said, everyone has to get good at one of two things: planting in the spring or begging in the fall. That quote is so awesome. And I think it's amazing because it really puts into perspective. It's so simple. I think that's makes this verse so cool, is just because it is so simple. It's just something that you can just easily grasp. As always, how you can apply these things to your life today, because it really embraces a mindset of generosity and considering how your actions can positively impact others and obviously impact yourself as well. So here's some ways we can apply this to your life. Number one, generosity in giving. Be generous with your resources, whether it's time, money, or skills. Look for opportunities to help others without expecting immediate returns. Acts of kindness can actually create a ripple effect for positivity. And think about this for a sec, because let's say you buy somebody, you just pick up the guy's tab behind you in the drive-through line at McDonald's or something, just for the heck of it. That makes that person's day brighter, and that puts a smile on their face, and it is like a ripple effect, because that person is now in a better mood than they were. They might have been in a bad mood or a good mood, it doesn't matter, but after having received kindness from you, they're now in a better mood. And I mean, if they're not, they've got other problems, but at least very safe to assume that person's now in a better mood, and it's really cool. I think that's one aspect there. The other aspect there is to make any kind of good gesture towards another person without expecting immediate returns is sometimes a difficult thing. I mean, I'm guilty of this myself. Sometimes when you do something for somebody, you are kind of expecting something back in return. Sometimes you just have to, this is the trial that we as human beings have to overcome, is that we want to be as genuine and as generous as possible. So that's the first thing. The second thing, kindness and compassion. Practice kindness and compassion in your interactions with others. Treat people with respect and understanding. Small acts of kindness, such as suffering, a helping hand, or a listening ear, can contribute to a more positive and supportive community. Guys, that's what we're all in this for. We're all on this earth together. We are all one giant community in the really, really big picture, if you think about it. And you have no idea, like a lot of times people think that in order to give, they have to be like these rich people who have tons of money and the only thing that they can do is really just give money. And that's not really it. You can see this for yourself. If you go through the YouTube comments on cool videos, like if you see somebody doing something nice for somebody else, and it's like a really cool, genuine thing, and you see something like, man, I wish I had a friend that would do something like that for me. A friend. They're not saying I wish I had 20 million friends or 3,000 friends or whatever. They're just saying, I wish I had one friend that would do that. And that usually doesn't cost money, those type of things. And it's the things that we really can't buy with money. Like a listening ear when you're feeling like crap is such a cool thing to have. It should never be taken for granted. And that builds community, that builds friendship, that builds respect. And that's what I'm talking about here. So I think that's awesome. Number three is investing in relationships, because the more you invest in relationships, the more you nurture your relationships with friends and family and your colleagues, you put this time and effort into building strong and meaningful connections, and then the quality of your relationships will start to mirror the effort that you put into them. And this goes for any relationships, like we were just saying. Like it could be your spouse, it could be your best friend, your boss, someone else at work that you work with. What you put into those relationships are what you get out of it. There's a quote we all have heard and that we've used. It's called, "The grass is always greener on the other side." And that's actually a false quote or a false figure of speech, because the grass is actually greener on whatever side you water it on. If you water it on, let's say you're a married man and have a fight with your wife or something, but all of your friends are single and they're all running around, partying and having a good time, and you're just always like, oh man, I wish that I missed that life. I miss that life. You're watering on the wrong side. You're looking at all of the things you could be be doing. Instead of watering, hey, look, you know what? Maybe I should just put some more effort into my wife and put some more effort into building that relationship with her, because you will start to experience a more fulfilled life and fruitful marriage with her. You know what? Your friends will actually start to get jealous of you, because you will start to build a stable and reliable and comfortable home. And I think that's what's sometimes overlooked. Number 4 here, professional growth. And this kind of all has to do with the relationships we were talking about here. Apply this principle of sowing and reaping to your career. If you put the effort into develop your skills, if you work hard, you contribute to positively to your workplace, this dedication and contribution to your job is going to lead to professional growth and opportunities. There's just no way around it.
Opportunities such as this come but once in a lifetime.
I'm talking about professional growth in this case, but at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. You're still planting seeds in your career as opposed to your familial relationships or your spousal relationships and things like that. Wherever you plant seeds, you're going to get growth as long as you take care of the seeds. You can't just throw them out into the field and hope they grow, obviously. You have to throw them out into the field and then protect them, bury them, make sure the sun and the birds don't get them. And then you got to make sure that they get watered every day and they get the proper nutrition to the soil every day. You know, got to put that plant food in there, however they do that. I'm not a farmer, so I wouldn't know, but that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Moving on to the number 5, this is going to cultivate a positive attitude. And as we've said many times in my past videos, that outlook determines outcome. This will cultivate a positive attitude. This whole approach challenges you to build a positive mindset. Rather than focusing on the limitations, you look for solutions and opportunities instead. And it will also influence the way other people perceive and respond to you. So I think in terms of sexual relationships between men and women, I think that what I have found in talking to a lot of people in my life is that the most attractive quality that people find in other people is confidence. So if you have a ton of confidence, you have a positive attitude, and you have this, and I'm not talking about overconfidence, I'm not talking about arrogance, I'm talking about secure in who you are. That's confidence.
I'm confident that each of you will do his duty.
That positive attitude is going to attract a lot of opportunity in terms of who you might get married to, who you can date, what kind of jobs you can get, what kind of house you can obtain, what kind of car you drive, like all of this stuff. By the way, none of this stuff requires money, by the way. To cultivate a positive attitude, that's free. That is a free thing. You can have a positive, confident, mental attitude and be extremely attractive and not have bajillions of dollars in your bank account. So that's the other cool thing about this. So you can be anybody. Anybody can do this. This is not a rich guy thing, which is really cool. And then lastly here, guys, obviously this verse in particular has a lot to do with personal development. And I think the more you study this quote or this verse, it's an investment in your personal growth and development. Continuously learn, improve your skills, and strive for self-improvement. And this can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. By embodying all of these principles, you can contribute to a more harmonious and fulfilling existence for yourself and those around you. So having said all that, guys, I know I'm going a little long today. Let's end on a prayer. God, you are my great provider, and you provide me with opportunities to give generously. Please give me the courage to trust you with every opportunity to live a generous life. I want to wisely manage the money, time, and energy you've given me, so please help me to steward them well. In Jesus' name, amen.